Hey friends, it's Carol, Saltbox Stitcher. Finally back for another video. I think it's been almost a month. So, hope you're all doing well. This is episode
121.
121. Who'da thunk? Deep breath. Have lots. Oh, here's my coffee. Saltbox Stitcher. Oh, there's a coffee ground in there. Not that I've never drank a coffee ground. I'm sure I have. I have some fully finishes. I have a couple finishes. And I have some plans. I have some previous finishes. And I have some what I've been stitching. So, I'm going to do the fall stuff first. And then I'll show you. I have a few samplers here that I've pulled out of my stash that are finished under the bed box, whatever people call it. Mine's not under the bed. But anyway, things I'm working toward getting framed, and that means saving my pennies. So anyway, I do have a couple things I have sent out for framing, and I was talking to some local gals on Saturday. And there's a place here in Jacksonville that a lot of people use, so I may go by there and just get a price to see. Anyway, so I will start with finishes. So, which also encompasses what I've been stitching a little bit. Should I do what I've been stitching first? No. Okay. The first finish I have is Queen of Harvest. Queen of Harvest. This was a whip. This is by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. I wouldn't say I'm to the point of being committed, but I'm trying to be intentional. What are you laughing at?
Being committed?
Oh. Like into the crazy place? Is that admitted or committed? When you get to the point where you're admitting me, I guess it'll be a problem.
I take the fifth.
Oh, pleads the fifth. Anyway, I'm trying to be intentional about working on my whips and going toward whip finishes. Because I have a lot of whips. And you'll see some of the things I worked on. I kind of brought out some things that I haven't touched for a long time. And I thought, I'm going to put a few stitches in these. See if I still have the same joy in stitching them. Not that I'm thinking of ditching. I want to stitch rather than ditch. I have these two little gray wings. What the heck? I haven't had a haircut since April. Go ahead, say it. I can tell.
Chuck City.
He cuts the back, and I kind of cut the front. I just don't want to spend. I'd rather save my money for framing. I know that sounds crazy. Anyway, when it gets really, really bad, I'll get a haircut. It is kind of weird in the back. Oh, anyway, here's my finish of Queen of Harvest. I did this on 40 count, Picture This Plus Sand, and it was very fun, very fun. I love the acorns, love the pumpkins. It says, give thanks for thy bounty. So this is one that obviously you could leave up through Thanksgiving. So I'm very happy I finished that. Her little pantaloons sticking out from the bottom are kind of ghosty, but I think overall you get the general idea. And I am going to frame this. It's too big for a dough bowl finish. So that is Queen of Harvest, and that's a finish. The next thing that I finished, let's see here. Try to organize. And this has been a whip for quite a while. This is Casting a Spell. In fact, I bought this at Stitchin' Time in Jacksonville before it became a recluse LNS. They closed at the beginning of COVID and they still haven't opened. Now, supposedly you can go and call them or email them and say, I would like to see, you know, this color threads if you have it, and they'll bring it out to your car. But there's no browsing the store. Anyway, Casting a Spell by BlackBird Designs. And I was not finished with the stitching. The last time I showed this as a whip. And now I'm finished with the whole thing in the box. So Hubs painted the box for me, distressed it. And then I think he's going to insert a picture. And then I did, these are glued in, the others are just kind of fitted in. All done. So the way the instructions, and I think Barb of BlackBird wrote the instructions, were on these 4 corner pieces. You were to get, sorry, there's the window making a glare. You were to get Jello boxes and cut them out and stuff them. It was just kind of a weird finish. And I think it was Yvette Gonzalez, and she said she put little blocks of wood in there. So she had little like this to raise it so that the corner pieces would be flush with the box, while the other 6 pieces, whoops, there's my ring light, where the other 6 pieces then would sit down. Because it's supposed to be a sewing box, technically. So these I didn't have to worry. They're just flush with the bottom, where these are flush with the top. So Hubs cut a fairly big piece. He's going to insert a picture, like a block of wood. And then I just finished them like flat. I didn't use foam core. I used mat board. You know, sometimes with patterns or with mailings, you'll get that really heavy cardboard. I don't know if that's really what mat board is. To me, mat board's more what they use for matting. But anyway, it's stiff cardboard. So there it is. It's all finished. Casting a Spell. And some of them might be a little uneven. I don't know. My hands were getting really tired after I finished all those, so I don't know how even they are. So that was my second finish, because I finished stitching them and then I fully finished the box. I had another finish, but that was a sampler, and I'll show you that in a minute. So then, while I was on a fully finishing mindset, I thought I had a frame. Well, let me show you the pattern first. This is Hilda Boo and Sunflowers 2 with a needle and thread. Has the candy corn at the bottom. It's very cute with the sunflowers, and it says Boo. Hilda Boo and Sunflowers 2. I thought I had a frame for this. When I went to the frame was really cheap. It must have been like a 5x7 one that you buy, and it kind of fell apart. I was like, this is too cheap. So I'm going to order a new frame for this. But it is all laced and finished. Now, I had finished this last year or the year before, so this was out of the box, and I can see that that's not even. But, you know, I'm an amateur, so it is what it is. It comes out for 6 weeks a year at the most, so come on, cut me some slack. So Hilda Boo, it's all laced. I just need to find a frame to put it in. And maybe I can find a pre-made frame that's 5x7. That would be nice. The next fully finish, again, I did this last year. This is a witch in her garden by With Thy Needle and Thread. I bought this kitted, so I'm not sure. I think I may have gotten it from Farm Girl Dry Goods, but it came complete with the pumpkin stem. So and I know it's not even at the top. My hands were so sore because I put cardboard in these. So when you're trying to stitch that, and you really have to put... Anyway, enough complaining. It is, again, it is what it is. Isn't that the neighbor's favorite saying, it is what it is?
Oh, yeah.
So it's finished. It matches in the back. I didn't have any problem with sewing that, but I can tell it kind of dips here. Anyway, I'm not going to point out my faults. You guys can see them. So it's supposed to have this little candle stand on the bottom, but you're supposed to paint it the same color as the velveteen on the top. I didn't have any orange paint, so I still have to do that and glue that to the bottom. Hub said, why didn't you just paint it black? But this is kind of a black that kind of has a grayish. So I was afraid this being really stark black would be too much of a contrast. Now finding an orange that matches this, that'll be challenging. But maybe today I might stop by Hobby Lobby. I've got somewhere I have to be this afternoon, so. Oh, the other thing I was going to say, back up to Hilda Boo. For lacing, and I haven't done a lot. I've probably done less than 10 pieces that I've laced. But what I use is Coats and Clark's upholstery thread. Get my face out of the way. Yeah, that really helps, doesn't it? Anyway, it's not focusing. Still not focusing. Anyway, it's Coats and Clark's upholstery thread. I'm not sure if you can get it like at Hobby Lobby, but they definitely have it on 1, 2, 3 stitch. And I think they have it in light and this light color and dark. I'm not 100% sure. So I have that. So that's finished. This is fully finished, except for the little candle stand. And then I have another fully finished. If you want to watch a fall parade of fully finishes, go to Sully Stitches. Oh my goodness. She has what seems like a never-ending fall parade of fully finishes. She's got fancy ladies. She's got, what did she call them? Soft finishes. She has everything. It's crazy. I was like, my piddly few is kind of kindergarten compared to her doctorate level amount. Anyway, my next fully finish is this one that I finished either last year or the year before. This is the work basket, and this is Quaker Crow. The work basket Quaker Crow, I finished this either last year or a few years ago. This was a whip for a long time. And I recently saw somebody, who did I see, that was going to work on it. Maybe Callie from Floss Boss and Cousins? My mind is blank. The old gray mare just ain't what she used to be. Anyway, I fully finished this guy. Now, I used this trim that originally we got to put on some chairs and then decided it was too thin, but it's extremely ravelly. So where I joined it back here, I had to use fray check, and it's kind of a mess. So I can't show you that side. Anyway, I did around the bottom. This was a little challenging because there's no circle for the bottom. nor is there any pattern for the shape. So this was all completely freehand. And I put a fabric on the back because I wanted it to look really close to the color of the linen, but I didn't want to put linen on the back. So Quaker Crow by the Work Basket. I think it turned out really good. It's really fun. And I like little stand-ups that you can... Is this a stand-up? Yeah, whatever. You can just, you know... What is it? My sister and I used to call them sit-around stuff. You know, sit-around stuff. Stuff that just sits around your house. Like me. So that was a fully finish. And that's one of the reasons it took me so long to come back for a video, because I really wanted to get some things fully finished. I still have some more, but I kind of ran out of my finishing mojo. I'm not a professional. I love to sew, I love to quilt, I love all that stuff, but the fiddly stuff, leave that to somebody that's got better, younger hands, I guess. I don't know. Now I'm going to show you a few more fall things that I worked, well, first I'll show you some former finishes I have that are BlackBird. And of course I didn't get the patterns out. So, what is the name of this one? This is on a Lone Elm box. Oh shoot, I should have the names on the inside. That would really be nice. Right now it just has some junk in here. Not that that matters. Anyway, this is a BlackBird pattern. I don't know. I could say Away We Ride, but that's not it. I could say Raven Bewitched, but that's not it. Anyway, this is a finish I did years ago, 2016. It's very cute. And I did it on a green linen, and I did use 2 strands. So this was probably like 30 or 32 count. Maybe even 28, who knows. Whatever it called for is what I used. And then this is Spell of the Moon. Again, this is a finish I did years ago. BlackBird, 2 strands. Did I show this last time? I love this fabric on the back. Isn't that cute? October 31st, get it? Spell of the Moon. This one is Cats on Parade. And this again was, I did in 2018, 2 strands, probably on 30 count. When I was doing some of my finishing on the other ones that I stuffed, I took the bottom off and kind of added some more stuffing because it was getting a little bit settled. So, but this is Cats on Parade. Finished that in 2018. Very cute. I love it. This is Feast of Friendship. I know a lot of people have done this. Some are working on it. Feast of Friendship by BlackBird Designs. I put Blessings Abound. I have friends, but I didn't want to make it a friendship piece. I wanted it to be more of a Thanksgiving. So Blessings Abound by BlackBird Designs. I love that piece. This is, oh come on, Carol. I should put a label on the back of these. Wouldn't that be a novel idea?
I'm holding my breath.
Okay, hold your breath. Well, y'all know this one, but I can't remember the name of it. This looks like this is 2 strands too. I did this one in a year that I did not label. Love the checkerboard house. This I think has been re-released, or it's in a book, I'm not sure. I think I was watching Shawn, the Periwinkle Stitcher, and she was talking about this. And the picture, wherever she showed it from. Looked like it had very dark linen, but actually the linen is pretty, it's just a neutral. I love this. To everything there's a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. That's from the verse in Ecclesiastes, a time to weep, a time to sow, a time to reap, all those, a time to's. Okay, then, before I start talking about samplers, I want to talk a little bit about what else I've been stitching. This may not be a super long video. No, it may not be. I don't know. I never know. So this is what I've been working on since I finished, that Queen of Harvest. That was the most recent finished. This is Olga's stocking. I think I might have had it down to the cat previously. Now, obviously I don't have this one pumpkin all the way filled in. This one, I'm going to work on that next time I stitch with friends. This is on 36 count Pearl Barley by Lakeside, which I think is the called for. Now this white in this pumpkin that has black and white is Oatmeal by Gentle Art. So the other night, I don't know what time it was late, and I started stitching on this and I thought, this really isn't showing up, and I have a lot of over-dyed floss and I keep them on large rings if they're not in a kitted project, but the stash I keep on large rings, and I have Classic Colorworks. I think they all fit on 2 rings, and then I think I have 4 Weeks rings. Weeks I have to have the smaller rings because the holes are smaller on the anyway, they don't fit over the hinge thing if you get too big of a ring, the Weeks. So I'm looking for another Oatmeal because that's what it is, Gentle Art Oatmeal. And I thought, well, I might have a couple of them, and if I do, I'm going to get one out that's a little bit more whitish, a little brighter. So, some of those big rings are just cheap and worthless. So I went to open it, and the whole thing came apart, and all of those threads, and they're alphabetized, so it was F through R. I have this huge pile of floss on the floor in my sewing room. It's like, am I into alphabetizing? Because those all are going to have to be re-alphabetized. So the grandkids are coming over Saturday and spend the night, so I don't know. Camille might be into alphabetizing. Elijah won't. Anyway, so I did find one that I thought was a little bit brighter. I think once there's 4 rows of the black zigzag. I think once that's done, it might, and this is the pattern, Olga's Autumn Stocking. So I'm down in here, that's the last one that's in the toe of the stocking. And then there's a lot of stars and acorns and, little fiddly things that'll go next to all those pumpkins on the bottom. But I'm getting there. I'm hoping within the next week for sure I can have this finished and fully finished. Because I'm going to fully line it so it's like a regular stocking, because I really want to be able to hang it like where this basket is. Hang it there. We'll see. Did I show you the threads? Here are the threads. Really cute floss ring, my label that I put on them all. So that I'm going to set that aside because I'm going to take that with me the next time if I go stitch. The other thing I've been working on is my Hawk Run Hollow. I have villages and I need to get back to it, but instead I decided to start houses. So this is part of the Friday nights one. Actually have been invited to 3 different Zooms on Friday night. Now, I can only do 2. So, anyway. Houses of Hawk Run Hollow. There's a group, and we meet later, 9 o'clock till 11 or so Eastern time. So that works out for me because I'm up late anyway. Houses of Hawk Run Hollow. And this is on 40 Count Pearl Barley by Lakeside, which I believe is the called for, but I'm not sure. So I have been working on the first block, on the house, and there's 2 colors on the house, if you can see it. Over here in the corner I have the second color, and then I'll go on to the roof. And the actual pattern says this work is mine, and then it has somebody 1831. I think the somebody will be me. And I guess I'll put today's date. I might put my birth year. Or put done by a millennial. Is that what we are? No, we're baby boomers.
Yeah.
Our kids are millennials.
Yeah.
Well, not all some of your kids are. No. They're all millennials.
Yes.
He's a man of few words. Yes. Yes. He's teaching, so he's into... he's not teaching right now, but...
Yeah,
Is that what you're working on? School stuff? Yes? Oh, dear. Anyway, Houses of Hawk Run Hollow. That's another thing that I have been working on. And then I got this out. I love this piece. I started it last year, the year before. Not totally happy with the colors. I have no idea. This may be out of print. It's a Plum Street. It's Eliza Scattergood. And to me, it's fall. It has acorns, a squirrel. Let me see if I can get it closer. My microphone's right here, so I can't. I want to pinch it out for you so you can see it better. Doesn't work that way, Carol. Oh, anyway. Eliza Scattergood. I am using, did I get out the threads? Yes. I'm using the NPI silks that it calls for. Some of the early Plum Street she did NPIs, which I wish she still would do NPIs because I love them. Anyway, there was a green. I don't even think I still have it on the ring. I was frustrated, so I took it out of the ring. And I will eventually rip it out, frog it. I worked on the house. I need to move my coffee, or some of them are going to be coffee stained. But I don't like the color of the vine. It's more of a brighter green, and to me it just doesn't go. This is on 40 Count Pecan Butter by Lakeside. So I worked on the house. And then I decided on a color that I'm going to use. That's kind of hard to see. But it's more of an olive. And this to me is more of it's got a little more brighter green. So I'm going to frog all that out. And I mean, not the little bit of a flower, but because the colors of this with this gold, this just doesn't seem to jive for me. And it's a good comparison because I pulled the DMC too, because I thought, well, maybe my NPI is off a little. Anywho, see, there's this like tree thing here, and it looks very olive. So, needless to say, I am going to pull that out and restitch it with the color that I'm using here, and I'm going to be a happy camper. Because see, this grass is like these triangles. And I'm very happy with the color I picked, which I believe is instead of the DMC was 730 and I changed it to NPI 335. And there's two greens, and so the other one was 830, which I like, DMC, and I changed that to 346, I think. I wrote it down, and I've got it. I just need to interpret my scratching. So anyway, I really like this. I want to finish it. I think it's very cool. It's kind of one of those kind of funky pieces that she did kind of years ago, I guess. It came out in, I don't know. Oh, 2012. So it's really old. Eliza Scattergood. So I worked on that. Worked quite a bit on the house on that. And the other thing I pulled out, this is a Buckleberry quilts bag. I love her bags. And I was so good one day, I went and I labeled all of my bags with these little tags. Now, I did it in pencil so that when I finish this, I can just erase this and put another name on it. Because I'm trying to be forward looking. So I definitely want to do Mercy Goodheart by Shakespeare's Peddler. There's two pieces in here. Now, I started this once. Maybe it is a whip. Let me see here. And then I think I decided to restart it, which I don't do a lot, but it's all kitted. Mercy Goodheart. I have a piece of vintage exemplar. I have a friend in our stitching group that finished it. It's gorgeous. If you've ever been to Silver Needle in Tulsa, they used to have the models for both of these. I don't know if they still do or not, or whether Teresa took them back. But they used to have Mercy Goodheart. And so I definitely want, that may be a new start come next year. I don't know. But the other thing in this bag is Sweet Temper. And that's another one that if you've ever been to Silver Needle in Tulsa, it's framed and on display. Sweet Temper by Shakespeare's Peddler. These are both original. They're not reproduction samplers, to my knowledge. But I love this. And I started it quite a while ago. And so I thought, I'm going to get that out and work on it. The colors are very neutral. There's a couple Gloriana. There's a couple of Eriswan. There's a couple NPIs. You have one kind of orangey red. But the rest are all browns. There's one kind of a light bluish green. Well, actually two bluish greens. And then that green, but still a fairly neutral palette. So I said, Carol, now the problem I had with this when I put it away was that I realized after I'd already started all the way around that this bottom, the very bottom is supposed to be satin stitched. And I was frustrated and I thought, oh, yeah, that's what I thought. And then I decided, I'm not going to do satin stitch. It has like 3 colors. I'm just going to do them in cross stitches. So I went ahead and started on the inner border. And then I started on some of these vines that are in the border. And I'm going to be filling in some of the flowers. I guess they're flowers or buds. Let me show it to you one more time. But I love this border. I mean, how gorgeous is that? With all those buds or whatever. And then I'm going to do the house, and I'm excited. And it says, let your temper be as sweet as the daisies at your feet. Be as gentle, be as mild, be a modest, humble child. And then the only other verse it has says, Jesus wept. Shortest verse in the Bible. I think there's this girl at the bottom. There's a funky vase. It's just really kind of cool. This is definitely an older piece of Teresa Vanette, Kitten Stitcher, Shakespeare's Peddler, all the same. I was going to see if there was a date on the back of it. Let me see here. Yes, I see a date. Hold on. $2015. Yeah, so it's been around a while. But I pulled that out, you know, sampler September. Let's look at some of these things and see if there's still things I want to do. And yes, they are. So, there you go. So I'd like to get back to that. Next, I'm going to show you my other finish. And then I'll show you plans and some people. Okay, there's delightful deliveries. So Sherry, she calls them gifts. Somebody else, I think it was Sean, Periwinkle Stitcher. What is going on here with the finger? I don't know. She called them confessions. Anyway, stuff that came in the mail. So this is my other finish that I had during September. This was Elizabeth Hunt with Thy Needle and Thread. This is a reproduction by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And I have a finish. Now I've had it folded, so forgive me here. I did not iron it. But it's all done. I love it. It's gorgeous. Those border flowers are just so pretty. Elizabeth Hunt, 1845. It says, with humble heart and tongue, great God, to thee I pray. Oh, may I learn while I am young to walk in wisdom way. Elizabeth Hunt, finished August 7th, 1845. She was 7 years old. Come on, people. And there's the red house, the bird, the flower. I love it. It's so pretty. Now, there is a teeny bit of over one. And this is on 40 count sheep straw. Hold, please. Let me look and see. 40 count R&R sheep straw. And I used the called for, of which some of the DMC you have to overdye in coffee, which was not a big deal. So it has a couple of, let me see if I can fold this so I can show you. There's 2 over 1 birds. See that little bird on top of that flower, plant, whatever. So there's one there, and there's one corresponding on the other side. So that's the only over one. And the only other thing, I guess you could call it a specialty stitch, is these little birds. You do 4 cross stitches, and then you do 2 lazy daisies for their wings. And she has a picture in here for how you do it. So it's very easy. So that's finished. So I put this in the pile of things that I want to get framed. So I pulled out some other things. I have a lot of unframed, unfinished pieces. A lot. I have 3 project rolls full. Now, I've pulled out some of the smaller ones, especially like the Christmas ones that I can fully finish myself. or even smaller ones that I can order a frame, or husband can make me a frame, but he's so busy right now. But anyway, so that I can go ahead and, finish those, frame them myself. But I pulled out some others that are top of the list that I want to get framed. Forgive me, I don't always know the designer. This is Elizabeth Hunt. There's about 3 choices. Could be Scarlet House. I guess I could look it up on my phone. Where's my phone? That would be the wise thing. That won't work. Oh no, it's Elizabeth Hunter. The other one that I just did is Elizabeth Hunt. Well, let's just see here. Okay. Elizabeth Hunter sampler. Scarlet House. Yes, I thought that could be. So that's Scarlet House. This is on a darker linen, maybe like sand dune or weak straw, whatever the called for was. So I'd like to get that one framed. The one I have out for framing is Sarah Casey Unwin, and that's by Chessie and Me, I think. Not sure. This is my Elizabeth Cheatham. I showed you this last time, finished. So that's one of the top ones to get framed. This is Charlotte Frost, also by the Scarlet House. Again, one that I want to get framed. This is, what's the name of this one? Jane Baxter by Victorian Rose Needle Arts. And this one, I use the Country Sampler conversion, which is quite different from the original called for. It's just more, a little more muted. So Jane Baxter by Victorian Rose Needle Arts. One I want to get framed. I think there's 7 or 8 here. I mean, I still have way more others, but this one is Jane Cowie by the Scarlet House. This is the one that has some pretty bright colors. Really pretty. Somebody was going to start, or somebody's working on this. Maybe Roberta from Sable Stitchers. This one's 7 Sheep sampler. This is done on Autumn Gold. This is also by the Scarlet House. This one has really funky kind of colors. This pink and yellow, and then this brighter green. It's just not something I would have picked, but I love it. This is probably top of the list that I want to get framed. 7 Sheep by the Scarlet House. I always feel like I should fold them differently than they were folded before. This is Lucy Calcott. There's actually 2 of them. I'd like to stitch the other one. This is the 1825 Lucy Calcott. I get framed. This one is Charlotte Clayton, and this is actually it's put out by a museum that's like in Washington. Charlotte Clayton. I've done these over the years. And this one is Sarah Fletcher by Hands Across the Sea. I might be able to frame this one myself because it's not that big. Just So Sherry, I think, is working on this one. So those are samplers. I'm going to take a quick break and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to show some plans and then some stuff that came in the mail. And then I'll let you go. Well, since I'm on a mission to work on whips, the next one that after I finish Olga's stocking, I'm going to work on Frederica. I've shown you this a number of times. This is by Carriage House. I've already done the boy, now I'm doing the girl. This is where I am, same place I was last time. So that will be the next thing I work on after I finish Olga's stocking. And then I have a couple BlackBird that I want to get back to work on. This is Raven Bewitched. Now I may lose steam for this after Halloween passes, but I'd really like to get, I don't want to keep carrying things from year to year. That's where I am on this one, complete with a needle. Raven Bewitched, got a long way to go on that one. Yeah, I know. The next one is also by BlackBird, and that is, this is in a book now. First Winds of Autumn. This is that giant strawberry. A lot of people have finished it. Mine was originally a kit from Dying to Stitch, I believe. So I have the velveteen for the stem and I don't have very much at all done on this one. So got a long way to go on that one, but that would be fun, and I could certainly keep going on that through November. Although, do you all sort of feel like Christmas is like... I know Katie's so tattered. She's already got her tree down. She's ready to go. Ready to start decorating. This is another one I started years ago, and I really would like to finish this one. It's called Kindred Spirits by BlackBird. It's a drum, obviously. It's another one that was a kit from Dying to Stitch. And this is where I am on this one. It's not specifically fall, but to me, with it being kind of monochromatic black, it could certainly blend in with fall decor. This was one that was a new, I'm not showing you threads on these because they're all just the called for. This is one that I started, Lisa Kindred Stitcher said, let's start this. So I started it, but I haven't gotten very far. This is an older BlackBird called Autumn Bouquet, whatever. And I did start this on a piece of Sand Dunes by Seraphim. It's just these 4 colors. Very fall. These are the called for. Now, the called for linen was like 30 count. But I'm using a piece of that Sand Dunes by Seraphim, and that's where I got on that one. It's very fun. I need to get back to it. But that's another one, you know, autumn bouquet. You could certainly stitch on that in November toward Thanksgiving. So those are some whips that I'd like to work on. Frederica being next. And then some of these Blackbird ones. Because there again, so I don't have to carry over. I had some friends that decided to start this one. I held off because, like I said, I have other whips that I want to get done first. Midnight Watch. I might start this, at least start on the border. If it's a new start and I carry it over, to me, it's like, okay, that's acceptable. But things I keep carrying over, it's like, come on, Carol. Another one that some friends are working on that I did not start, but I have it all kitted. This is Harvest Friendship by Teresa Kogut. Sully Stitches. It's one of the things she shows in her fall parade. So you need to go watch her. And I have it kitted on a piece of, I think, Dolly Madison by Needle and Flax. Or maybe I decided to do it on this. I have 2 pieces of linen here, so maybe I didn't make up my mind. There's also Overcast by Cedar River. That's a beautiful. I have some of her linen. I don't think I've stitched on it yet, so I need to. This is another one. Was actually one that is a new chart for me. I didn't start it, but I sure would like to. This is Halloween Alphabet by Primrose Cottage. She has some really cute designs. I also have this one, the Quaker. Really cute designs. I haven't stitched any of hers yet, but they're kind of calling me. And that I have kitted with a piece of Chocolate Milk by Fabrics by Stephanie, because I have a leftover piece from a sampler that I could easily fit that on. So those are new starts that I possibly might do. I don't know. Like I said, I don't mind starting something new and then carrying it over. I just don't want to keep carrying whips over. The other one, I had started Jack's Bash, and I just wasn't happy with the linen I was using. It called for Abecedarian by R&R. And my piece just was really light. I just didn't like it. And I have a friend that's doing this one on... Oh, come on, Carol. This is a Needle and Flax Dirty Teacup, which is a fabulous linen, and it has that great modeling, kind of browns, tan modeling. And that's Jack's Bash. So I cut off the part that I had started and put the piece of linen back into my stash, and I decided I'm going to restart it. Jack's Bash. Another Plum Street that I'd really like to... She's just killing us. All these designers. And they're just laughing. Like, haha, here's more designs for you guys to be neurotic over. I'm sure they are. But they're so creative. I'm sure those ideas just come into their head and they're just like, want to stitch them. Want us to stitch them. 2 other things that I want to work on. Let me talk about this one first. Oh, this is one that I did work on. Oh, sorry, I had this in the wrong pile. This is a sampler that I got out that I started last year during my Narissa's crazy stash starts. Sampler starts, and that's GGR's The Rose Wreath. And the store in Australia, Cruel Goblin, actually, I think that's who, they did like a yearly party or something, and Reese was there, and she had, I think this was hers that she brought, because there were pictures of it. And she's the one I first saw did this, and I was like smitten. So this is by GGR, the Rose Wreath. I started it last year and just hardly had any stitches in it at all. There's other people stitching on it. I think I said Lisa Kindred Stitcher had finished it, and then I think she corrected me. She has not finished it, but she definitely is a lot further along than I am. So I decided to finish going all the way around on the border, and then to start putting in some of the leaves or the little buds. So I did that on the top. In fact, there's still a needle in there. Shame, 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 Carol. This is on Weeks Parchment, 40 count. But once I get all those, the little these things in, then I can start filling in the flowers. Now, I may do some more on the middle part of the sampler rather than just only do the flowers, but I like to get quite a few done because I get to the point where it's like, if I'm quite a ways through the sampler and then I have to go back and do the border, to me it's like going backwards, so I don't like to do that. That's just me. The other one that I want to pick up, and I may start doing this on like a specific day, like Saturdays or even Sundays. And this is Jenny Bean for the Parlor. My friend Pam Horner is going through chemo. I'm sure if you know her, you've seen her posts on Instagram. This is by Shakespeare's Peddler Kitten Stitcher. There's 8 different parts. And this is the first one, the alphabet. This one is part 3, which I'm about ready to start on, which is Noah. And I've also done Adam and Eve. So I've done the alphabet and Adam and Eve, and I'm ready to start on Noah. So, and this one it's completed. I think she originally said it was 1 stitch longer and 1 stitch wider than And They Sinned, which is another one I'd like to get back to. So there's where I am. And this is Pam's cancer chemo stitch, and she invited people to stitch it along with her. I know it probably bugs you, bugs everybody that I didn't start in the middle, but I had this thought that, I could save this piece of linen for like smalls. I try to be somewhat consistent in keeping pieces of linen for smalls. Anyway, there's where I am. I'm ready to start on Noah's Ark, and I want to dedicate a day to working on this and praying for Pam as she goes through her arduous task of chemo. And then the other thing that's kind of calling me as I start to think about Christmas, and Becky, if you watch Socks for Mom on Floss Tube, she talked about The Moons by Plum Street. So, Summer Moon. Well, first there's Spring Moon. Spring Moon, which I have kitted. Summer Moon. This was the retreat piece when I was at Country Sampler a couple of years ago. So I have that all kitted. And then there is no Autumn Moon yet, but supposedly Paulette is definitely going to do an Autumn Moon. And then there's Winter Moon. This, I think, is only available. It's an exclusive through Country Sampler. Now, it may become available, but I think at this point it's only through Country Sampler. And I thought I took a picture when I was at the store this summer for Stitch Camp. I thought I took a picture of the finished one that's on the wall. It's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. So this is the one I really want to start, Winter Moon. So I may start this like Thanksgiving, you know, sometime like that. I may start sooner. One of the Zoom groups, some of the gals are going to start it, and I think they're going to start it November 1st. I don't know. I definitely want to start it. The other one that I have stitches in is the Spring Moon, I think. You know, this is a really good question. So I don't know whether I started Spring Moon, Summer Moon, because all I have done is the moon, so I'd have to go look at, I don't even have the moon done, but that's what I started. So I'd have to go look at the charts and see which one. I thought I started Summer Moon. I don't know. I don't know. It may be Spring Moon. I may have decided to do them in order. I think it's Spring Moon. Because Summer Moon has the flag, so there would be a straight line. And I'm outlining, so I think it's Spring Moon. Because like a crazy person, I thought, oh, I'll just do them in order. Spring, summer. But no. And then I also have the Christmas Mini Moon, which I did the Summer Mini Moon. Summer, spring. But I want to do Christmas Mini Moon. So anyway, those are the moons. You know, at first I was like, do I want this giant rabbit on top of this house? But it's kind of grown on me to where I really kind of like it. I just think they're different. And they have a little bit of a folk art appeal, I think. So those are a couple things I want to stitch. I'll be right back. Couple other things. This was one that I got in the mail. Not other things I got in the mail. These are what I got. This is Teresa Kogut. I just love this. This idea of an oval drum. No, I'm not that great at making drums, so this would be an experiment, but I think that's really cool. And this one is called Prim Birds. I just really like that. I think that's full. No, the background of the birds is not filled in. There's some flowers and stuff, but that's the color of the linen. But that is so cool. I love that. I got this one. Home is where my samplers are. This was originally a retreat piece and is now available for everyone. This is Merry Autumn Pin Keep from Stacy Nash. I didn't recently get this, but this should have been in my Wanna Stitch. Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts showed this all finished on a board, and I thought it was so cute. And I've had it in my stash for a long time, wanting to do it. That would not, I mean, the house is going to take a little bit of time, but I just love that. And I have it kitted with a piece of Lakeside Flagstone. It needs to be kind of grayish for that white house to show up. And then I also got Nettle. A lot of people are starting this. I haven't. I got it kitted, but I don't have any. I'm not ready to start her yet, I should say. The other thing I got, I don't know if you're familiar with Robin Sampler Bird. I've met her at retreats. Very sweet lady. And she does these beautiful scissor fobs. And you get, if you order the kit, you get everything. You get everything you need. The linen, all of the, this little spool. I think everything but the paint and the stuffing. So it's a complete kit. You just have to add a few things. When I say complete, I mean fabric-wise. and hardware. That is all I have to say today. That was certainly long enough. I have to leave because I have to meet somebody. And I'm going to stitch with friends. And I had a stitchy meetup on Saturday that was very, very fun. So I hope y'all are doing well. My heart goes out to all the people that were affected by both Helene and Milton. Tragedies, absolute tragedies. So I hope you have an organization that you feel good about donating to. My choice is Samaritan's Purse, which is Franklin Graham's, which is Billy Graham's son, but Franklin Graham's organization. And my husband met Billy Graham years ago when he was at, can I say this?
Yeah.
Is the secret out?
Yeah.
He's kind of quiet. He's busy. Billy Graham was a patient years ago. He's passed away, right?
Yes.
Yeah. When he was at Mayo Clinic, Billy Graham was at Mayo Clinic, and my husband was his therapist. So we all got to go and meet him, and he was such a gracious man. But anyway, huh?
He kissed you.
Yeah, he kissed my hand. Anyway, I think his son's organization, Samaritan's Purse, is a worthwhile cause. And if you follow Samaritan's Purse on Instagram or Facebook, they are really doing above and beyond for a lot of those people. And it was interesting. I had to go out to Mayo Clinic yesterday, and there are people that are putting these kindness rocks all around, and you're welcome to take them. And this one says hope. So hopefully all the people that have been affected by the hurricane still can see that they're neighbors, that there's many organizations that want to help, and goodness is still in the heart of so many people that are helping. So you can't give up. There's always hope. Anyway, I hope you all have a good week. I hope to be back in a couple weeks, but obviously I can't promise. So anyway, I got to make my lunch so I can go and be where I'm supposed to be at 12:30. So it's already 10 till 12, so I got to hustle. One more thing I forgot to say, and my husband even gave me a note, and I was like, yeah, and then I forgot to say it. The cruise that Country Stitchers and I are going on, it's a Stitchers Escape through Jean Farish, and it's the 2026 January cruise. Registration was October 12th, and it is completely sold out. It's sold out in 30 minutes, and the wait list is cut off too. So I hope you're one of the people that's going to be able to come, or at least a good friend of mine's on my Stitchy group is on the wait list, so hopefully she'll make it. Oh yeah, Mr. Saltbox is going to be there too. I think that's why it's sold out. Everybody wants to meet Mr. Saltbox. So anyway, I just wanted to add that, and I forgot it. So anyway, love you. Bye.